Our last video we talked about um, law of cause and effect, and today we'll be looking at staying relevant. Have you been struggling with your society and knowing how important your society is? Well, I've come to talk to you, and that's why this topic is important to you. I want you to listen to me because what I'm about to share with you today is a very productive, which you will enjoy, and it will remain with you for life. Now, what does it mean to stay relevant? It means adapting faster and innovating sooner. To adapt faster and to innovate sooner. Stay relevant. What does it mean to be relevant? Relevance means the power to change minds and behavior and stay ahead of the competition. This is what relevance is, the power to change minds and behavior and stay ahead of the competition. Now you tell me, what kind of competition are you into? Is it your job? Is it your probably hospital? Is it academic competition? Is it competition of the family? Is it ministry competition? Whatsoever. Is it competition between defining a better you of yesterday and today? Is all about the power to change minds and behavior and staying ahead of the competition. This is what relevance is. So I will be talking about several things, like things or habits that makes you relevant, and then I will be giving you my own counsel on how to be relevant. But then Charles Darwin said something. He said, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one with the most adaptable change. The one with the most adaptable change. The adaptability to change is the one that has the adaptability to change. You have the adaptability, the behavior to adapt to changes. Hoffman said something. He said you have to constantly reinvent yourself and invest in your future. Now this is what relevant meant to Hoffman. Hoffman is a writer, an author. He said you have to constantly reinvent yourself to be relevant. So relevancy is important. Staying relevant is important. And this is why you see company run personnel appraisal, you see company refurbish, restructure, change old things, probably reinvent by introducing ITC, technology in business, mindset. We are entering the age of the jet age where everything is gradually entering, being backed up, assisted by technology. So that is where it's needful for you to package yourself to stay relevant. Why? If the technology takes over your job, that's unemployment for you. But if you reinvent yourself to handle the technology, it means you're relevant. And that is what Hoffman was talking about, staying relevant. If you're not relevant in this society, it means you're dead. It means you're not fulfilling purpose. It means everything that has to do with you doesn't make sense. If the way you wear clothes is not relevant, if you being a mechanic, you're not relevant again, it means customers are not coming to you. Probably the new cars, you can't repair it. As a teacher, if you're not relevant, it means the new syllabus, curriculums, you're not acquainted to it. As a principal, if you're not relevant, it means that everything about modern school and academic, you're not acquainted to it. And that makes you irrelevant. So if you're not relevant, you are irrelevant. And that's what it means. So I will be talking to you more about relevant. Why? Because I want you to be relevant. I want you to stay relevant. I want you to contribute to societal economic development, where at all costs, no matter what happens, you're there. You're not checking out. Hallelujah. So you're not checking out. It's important you know this. You're not checking out. When you hallow that thing and you gather it up, and it doesn't make sense to you, that means it doesn't have relevance. Now, habits and things that makes you relevant. Being on time to work makes you relevant to that institution. Most of you are good with coming late. Being on time to work makes you relevant. Secondly, proactive effort. Proactive effort means efforts that are proactive. You're painstaking. You think ahead of time. If you're that person that is thinking ahead of time, you'll be so relevant. Why? Because you're always thinking about what next to do, what next to do, what next to do. So it makes you relevant. So energy, productive energy. Is your energy low? Of course, when the company wants, that's why companies check appraisal to know how the energy of their staff is. Is the energy productive? Is your energy contributing? Is your tax contributing to profit or loss? So if it is contributing to loss, they will sack you. As a teacher, is your energy productive? Is your creativity productive in the sense that it helps the student to learn more and more? I'm still talking about staying relevant. And today I'll be exposing much things to you to make you understand why you should stay relevant. Stay relevant because the society we are is a society where everybody has to contribute. Everybody. If you're complaining in a company, you'll be sacked. If you're not doing your job well, if you're not relevant in the company, you'll be given query. People that are relevant don't get query. Number 3, I talked about energy, productive energy. Then I'm looking at attitude. Attitude to work. Attitude in everything you're doing. Have the right attitude. A positive attitude. An attitude that, hey, in this thing I'm doing, I'm going to do the best. I'm going to bring out the best. I'm going to ensure that everything comes out the best. And this is it. Right attitude. So manage your attitude so well. Don't think laziness. Don't think loss. Always be thinking profit. Always be thinking of new ways of creating, solving problems. And that is what will make you relevant. Passion is my next point. Passion. How zealous and passionate are you in that thing you're doing? As a teacher, as a doctor, as a head of school, as a principal. How passionate? As an engineer, how passionate? As a doctor, how passionate are you in saving life? That's what will make you relevant. If you don't want to be sacked, you have to be passionate about that thing. You wake up early, you read early, you prepare, you go to the office early, you close late. It's because you're passionate. It's not because you don't have something to do, it's because you're passionate. Passion. The next point, being coachable. Do you have the ability to coach people? You will always be relevant. Why? Because people will look for you. People will look for you to talk to them. People will look for you to build them up. People will look for you. People will look for you. You're coachable. You know how to teach people. You know how to coach people. You will always be relevant because you are a problem solver. The next point, doing extra. In anything you're doing, I want to talk to you about people, see as a civil servant, as a parastatal worker, as a government worker, as an ambassador. Doing the extra is really important. Why? You may feel nobody is looking at you, but something is looking at you. The law of nature will contribute effort to ensure that one day you get noticed. Some kind, the company will notice you, that you're putting on extra. It could be that you're paying from your pocket just to ensure that you get that thing that the company wants, or to solve that problem, or you're putting up your extra just to see that you do your best, you will surely be recognized for doing extra. And that also is staying relevant. These are ways to stay relevant. I talked about being on time, proactive effort. I talked about energy. I talked about attitude. I talked about passion. I talked about being coachable. I talked about doing extra. And the last is being prepared. Don't always leave yourself unprepared. Don't always catch yourself unprepared. Like me, you can't catch me unprepared. That's why I read wide. That's why I socialize. That's why I try to know more. That's why I check the internet. What's new, what's new, what's new. Have little, even though not 100% of what you want to say. Have as a company staff, be prepared. As a company, be prepared for your stock, for your auditors. Be prepared. As a CEO, be prepared. Don't always know less. No, no more. It's not bad to go to the accounting department just to know something. It's not bad to stay behind when others have learned just to know what's up. Be prepared. Be prepared. And that's what I'm talking to you about. Stay relevant. The power to change mind and behavior, to stay ahead of the competition. We are in a competitive world. If you're not relevant, you will be done with. Banks that are not relevant are done with. Parastatals that are not relevant are done with. So you have to do everything you should to stay relevant. And this is why I'm bringing this topic to you today on Mental Clinic, which is staying relevant. I'll be talking to you on counsels. I'll be giving you my own counsels on staying relevant. And so number one is always contribute to societal development. Don't insult government. Think of how to help government. Don't insult government workers. Think of how to help them. Think of how to teach them. Think of how to give them ideas on better ways to do things. And that is where you're contributing. My counsel is don't expose yourself to modern day critics. In other words, I'm saying expose yourself to modern day appraiser. Look for new ways of appraising people. Don't criticize them. Be relevant in their life, which means you're not criticizing them, yet you're giving them a new modernized opinion on how to do that thing. Don't be among those people that are insulting government. Don't. Even in a relationship, be relevant to the girl. Be relevant to the boy. Be relevant. Always ensure that you contribute to the next level of your partner, as a wife, as a husband. Always. As a man, be relevant in your children's life. As a student, be relevant in your teacher's life. As a teacher, be relevant to your school, to your students, such that you don't even take leave, just to ensure that you get that target, just to ensure that the company makes profit, just to ensure that the company moves forward. Companies that are not relevant go bankrupt. They go bankrupt. You don't hear about them. They go extinct. The companies we see like MTN, Glo, Airtel, many more, are companies that chose to stay relevant. And that is why you see them bringing bonuses. You see them bringing customer self-services that are interesting for the customer. They want to know how you're doing. They want to call you. They want to dash you bonus. They want to give you extra data just to be relevant. Why? In the mind of business, in the environment of business, customers are king. In a school, students are king. So in everything you're giving, you have to reinvent yourself to meet up to societal development. You have to reinvent your mind to solve problems of the society as a social engineers. and not insulting people, not insulting the government. Think of how to help the government project. Think of how to help contribute to the children. Now we're talking about rape. Think of how to solve this problem. Help the government. Be selfless at it. Don't always be looking for what you will get or something. Be selfless. You could use your own. You can become a philanthropist. Staying relevant is important. Staying relevant is expedient, is important. No matter how. Irrespective of the person you are, you have to stay relevant. Don't give up. Be persistent to ensure that you're the best. And I bet you that when you're relevant, the society will be better. Your family will be better. The company will be better. The institution will be better. Our voting system will be better if you are relevant. And it starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with you from your home, from your office. It starts with you. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I still remain Emmanuel Pascal, your uncle on Mental Clinic. I want to thank you for spending out your time to watch me today. I will be sharing more and more on still staying relevant. So our next video, you will see more about staying relevant. I believe what you've heard has touched you. Please practice this thing. That's why I'm talking to you. So as I'm talking to you, tell somebody to tell another person. Staying relevant. I'll be